Oh.
Hey there, and welcome back to the Free Play Podcast, where Kate will always be talking up until the transition. We were talking about Bluey.
I was talking about dog breeds.
Go ahead, Kate. Tell your story.
And how I like blue heelers, and how my dog is an Aussie. So she's from Australia, but actually she's not, because I just found out that Aussies aren't really from Australia. And then the thing came back.
What?
What?
They're not?
I guess not.
Like the OG original breed is not from Australia?
I don't know. I thought no. But see, if I had kept talking and done a little bit more research before you went back, maybe this all would have been avoided.
Yeah. Facebook gaming.
Yeah, we'll be real quick before we do that. I also have something to say.
Oh, okay.
Google said that the Australian Shepherds actually came from Spain, so they're not Australian.
That's very misleading because it's Australian Shepherd.
Well, they got taken to Australia, and then from Australia they came to the U.S. So the U.S. didn't look one step back to see where they actually were from, which is Spain.
No, it's a lot easier for me just to believe that every single Australian Shepherd is born in Australia. Every single one of them.
Well, I'm not going to shatter the dream for you.
Okay.
Anyways, looking at Facebook, what we're really here to discuss is Facebook Gaming, who announced this week. Let me read the announcement for you so that you can hear hear it from the horse's mouth.
From the Horpin's mouth?
The Horpin's mouth. This is fresh from the Horpin's mouth. Update on Facebook Gaming app. That's a key word that we will come to discuss after I read this.
Can't wait.
Beginning on 28th of October, the Facebook Gaming app for iOS and Android will no longer be available. After this date, the app will no longer work. You can download your gaming app search data here. Obviously, you can't click the link because this is audio. Okay. We want to extend our heartfelt thanks to all of you for everything that you've done to build a thriving community for gamers and fans since this app first launched. This was truly a community-led effort to bring new gaming features to Facebook. Despite this, our mission to connect players, fans, and creators with the games they love hasn't changed, and you'll still be able to find your games, streamers, and groups when you visit gaming in the Facebook app. So that was their big announcement that they sent to all the creators.
So, first thing, I don't know that I was aware that there was a separate app.
I was
that
not.
Did this.
They started it in 2019.
I was not aware. I even checked my phone.
Aware,
maybe I downloaded it.
I was not aware there was another app. I know they made a big deal about, there's a gaming section in Facebook now, and it's like, okay, that's where I go to play Bejeweled. That's where we go for Bejeweled, for Farmville, for all these other things. Is that right there, right? So
that's where we're supposed to, at least, yeah.
That's where we're supposed to go.
It used to be a thing at the bottom of the Facebook app, and it's not there anymore. Where is it?
It's gone. I don't know.
Yikes.
So that was like step one, because Luke put this in our staff Discord, and I'm like, what's that? And then I started digging into some research, trying to figure out what is going on. What is that? Why is this announcement being said in this way? What does it matter if the app closes, if it's still available somewhere else? So it's all that stuff. This is, and again, this is my interpretation of the research that I gathered. Some of it was not very clear about, like, for instance, why is the app shutting down? There was not really any
I would imagine there's just not traffic on it, right?
Abysmal traffic.
That would be my guess.
I mean, here, I'll read you the numbers for Q2 of this year. And these figures came from Streamlabs to show the difference in streaming numbers between the three giants, Twitch, YouTube,
so this is just
and
people
Facebook.
streaming to the platform, streaming to Facebook Gaming.
Yes.
Got it.
Or watching. Hold on. Streamlabs showed that Facebook Gaming had the least number of hours watched. Hours watched. So this is other people engaging in live streams and content from these specific platforms. Twitch had 5.64 billion hours from April to June 2022. YouTube had 1.13 billion. And
that's a massive gap, by the way. Like, we're not going to talk about that.
Massive gap.
Massive.
And then Facebook had 580 million. So that's a big gap there as well.
Whoa.
But why would you close down your app that more people are probably going to access this content using the app instead of fumbling through Facebook on a browser or the Facebook app?
Yeah.
Why?
So that's what Radio Matt said, right? He was like, hey, if Twitch dropped its app, he would probably fall out of most of the streams that he's in, because that's how he lurks in a lot of the streams.
Right there.
Because you just leave your phone open. I do differently. I usually have 4 or 5 tabs open with streams, because I'm always at my computer. Like it's situational, right? But again, even with Facebook gaming, I didn't even think to look for an app, because Facebook.
And why would you, if you are like lagging so far behind in terms of competition, why would you get rid of something that maybe you're just not mobilizing correctly? Or that's me throwing stuff out there, because here I was wondering, has anybody else gotten rid of their apps? And YouTube has gotten rid of their gaming app and integrated it into main YouTube, and they're just fine.
That's okay. So that's different. They got rid of the separate app and integrated it into. But
that's what Facebook is doing, to my understanding, is they got rid of the app part, but everything's still available in the rest. So
you could always get to it from the app. Like if I wanted to go and, like, I'm in my Facebook app and I want to go and find whoever, I think, like, I'm trying to think of a Facebook gamer. D-Lancer was on there. I think there
were a couple other people, because Facebook
Stone
Gaming
Mountain maybe
locked them into a
contracted them.
Exclusivity contract.
Yeah.
So what does that mean also for all those guys who are locked in exclusivity contracts now with a platform that is basically announcing to the world, we're dying?
And that's exactly what it is. Like it really legitimately is. As much as I want to be the guy that's like, hey, this is probably like a really good, smart move. I do think that it is a really good, smart move, but I don't know that Facebook needs to be in the gaming space.
Exactly. So that was a point that I wrote down on here for us to talk about is, do they need to be there? I mean, they have the meta, like, headsets and all that kind of stuff, that metaverse VR type stuff.
I think that's
maybe they're just going to focus on that. All that other stuff's still getting released. They haven't said anything about the rest of the streamer programs and the rest of the streaming and that stuff. But it's just interesting to me to see somebody who's such a heavy hitter in terms of social media and people and this kind of stuff just not be able to hang at all in that sphere. And
I wonder, this is going to be telling, okay, in the days, weeks, and years to come, what happens with Facebook gaming, because they could just be folding. There could be like, hey, we're having to reallocate some funds, where it's not like Facebook is pinching pennies and trying to slice budgets and stuff. That's not how Facebook works. They have a license to print money. They're a mint, okay? They have the money that they need to do the things that they're doing. That's why they can break all this ground in VR technology, and they can continue moving forward with Facebook being the platform that it is and growing in the ways that it is. I think them focusing less on reaching gamers and just being a place where people connect is probably it makes a lot more sense to me for them as a company.
It does. Because that's already built in. That's the basis of all Facebook and Meta, whatever you want to call it, is like people connecting. It's not a service created specifically to entertain and engage nerds. I would say Twitch, and I think we've talked about it before, like Twitch has the monopoly on that, of the way to engage nerds and just have better stream stuff.
So I think that Twitch in and of itself, for all of its flaws, and people that have been on the platform, we're live on twitch.tv/lovethynerd right now. People that have been on the platform, been partnered, been in the upper echelon, they'll tell you, hey, things are not super awesome all the time, right? That's to be expected. The larger the company gets, the more people you have dealing with it and all sorts of stuff. It becomes more corporate. I understand that. but for all of its flaws, it is infinitely a better platform to stream on than Facebook. Because the thing that Facebook said was, hey, come stream here because you already have a Facebook account and you're on Facebook all the time. What they failed to realize, I'm not going to say they didn't do the research because I'm sure they poured billions of dollars into research.
Yeah.
But what I think they failed to realize is people compartmentalize pretty well. I don't want to. I'm gonna clean this phraseology up here real quick. I don't want to poop where I eat. All right, like I'm gonna do these things on Facebook, and I'm gonna do these things on Twitch.
Yeah,
and I want them to be different.
Not everyone wants an all-in-one platform solution for that stuff. Because say I went on my Facebook right now and I started streaming. It's like the people that I want to stream for are not on my Facebook. I don't need to be streaming for my Gammy and my dad. Like, I'll drop my Twitch link in the self-promo Saturday thread and have all my nerds that I know who are in the community on Facebook go somewhere else and and watch it there.
Well, that's the thing. It's like different spaces are designed, or they morph into having different uses, right? So all of our, what I would consider for Love Thy Nerd, our actual deep community happens on Discord. And I would say the next spill into that is it's Twitch, right? That's the place where I think it happens. Secondly, Facebook for us is a necessary evil. We have to do Facebook in order to reach the masses, because I've said this, if I said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. I truly believe that when you're born, you're given a social security number and a Facebook account. Like, those are just the two things that it feels like you get, because everybody has it. We all complain about it. Nobody really wants to do it, yada, 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 whatever. But it's like, that's the thing. It was the first major, and I mean major, okay, it wasn't the first, but it was the first major social media platform. MySpace got in before, Friendster got in before, but those are long gone, okay, from what they at least used to be. Facebook does what it does. I don't know that I would say it does it well, but Facebook does what it does. But there's a thing you do on Facebook, coming from the gaming community, it ain't it. That's just not, it's not it. And I think the numbers are showing that. I mean, 500 million, that's a lot.
500 million compared to 5-point-something billion. There's a bit of a difference there.
Well, and even compared to 1 point whatever billion, that's a lot.
It's a lot of millions.
Let's go ahead and take double your 500 whatever million. Let's just double that, and that's how far away you are from the next person who is light years away from the top dog. And so it's like, as Facebook, Marky Zuck, right? You're looking at it going, we got a lot of money. Let's be real. We got a lot of money. How much of that money do we want to keep pouring into this thing that's just not giving me the ROI that I'm interested in?
Yeah, I don't know. This is me projecting down more. I don't know that they would completely prevent the ability to stream on Facebook and completely prevent Facebook gaming, because I mean, for years, Facebook was the powerhouse of mobile and browser games for a certain generation of people. But maybe they just don't want to encourage people to stay there, or they're not going to actively be like, come on, because even if you get loads of big people, if you got all the top 30 YouTubers who do video game content and put them all on Facebook, you're not going to get Twitch's numbers still.
See, that's the thing, though, is like YouTube, when you stream, boom, it's there. Okay. You have the live stream. It's not super great for discoverability and stuff like that. Better than Twitch in some way, shape, or form, but not all the way. But the cool thing about it is that your video is then there on the platform where it's probably going to live long term anyway. It's already there, right? And they have all the transcoding and buffering, and they are video is what they do, right? Yeah. And you got the power of Google behind YouTube, okay? It's fantastic. Facebook, I think, will continue to offer this because it's why not, right? You want to do it? Go ahead. We're not going to widely support it though.
Not
We're
widely
shutting
support it,
down the
not
app.
take it away, but you can still use it if you want.
Yeah, go ahead. You know, you can do that on Facebook. But it's, you know, them shutting down the app, they could have marketed it better. Like if that was the problem, it's like, hey.
Yeah, because look at a bunch of nerds right here had no idea it existed. And
Exactly.
I use Facebook like every day.
Every day.
I mean, I don't
Every
play
day.
games on it anymore.
Well,
That's why I
Bejeweled,
was
maybe,
lamenting about Bejeweled and having no one to play with. But I had no idea that was. I don't know. I just didn't know.
They decided that it was more cost effective to not advertise it and basically shut the app down. So that app team now moves over into something else. Right? Like, so you're freeing money up and doing stuff.
Yeah, maybe they're looking at more of a meta thing. Maybe they're pivoting and doing that because that's the more of their.
I would focus on that,
up
man.
their alley. You don't need PewDiePie streaming on there.
Nope.
You need more meta stuff.
I think that this, like, I'm sad to see Facebook kind of drift off and out of it because Facebook gaming is what it is because it absorbed Mixer. All right. So Mixer was Beam before it was Mixer, but then when it became Mixer, that it was purchased by, I think it was purchased by Microsoft. Mixer was Microsoft. And it was integrated with Xbox and that whole ecosystem. It was really cool. And it added a lot of really good things to streaming that we didn't have before. It had a thing called FTL, faster than light. That was like, that was a way you could stream. And it was literally like as delayed, Kate, as I am to you. That's how much like the stream was. And so it allowed them to do things like put buttons on the stream where people could literally not just interact and, you know, do a channel point reward or whatever, but they could move like people played games by allowing the chat to push buttons and move the characters. And so it did that. We have channel points on Twitch because of what Mixer did. So the competition aspect of it was healthy and it added a lot to the streaming world. Now that went down and Facebook basically absorbed all of Mixer, right? And then now we have Facebook gaming. But it already didn't work when Microsoft had it.
Yeah.
Microsoft could not get it to work. And Marky Zuck was like, hey, don't worry about it. We'll put it on our social platform.
Yeah,
and
we
that'll
got
work.
this.
It's like, dude, you're like, literally, you're spitting on a fire here. Like that's not what's going to put out Amazon, Bezos, right? Like that's not going to happen. So I like the competition because it makes things happen in the same way that, like, you guys have heard me talk before about Gilded. Gilded is a Discord competitor. It'll never be Discord. Gilded is, and if anybody from Gilded is listening, I'm so sorry, but it is the Facebook gaming in this situation. It is the Mixer in this situation where I legitimately think it's a better product. I do. But the other one is so big. It's a behemoth and it will not be taken down
in the billions
by these things. And so we see a lot of things in Discord now because of what Gilded is doing to try and like keep up. And basically Discord goes, oh yeah, we can integrate that, no problem. And so like it squashes the things that are happening over here, but it makes the product that more people are using more frequently better. So competition is healthy, but things kind of end up in a monopoly in one way or the other down the road. So I don't know. I'm sad-ish about it, but at the same time, I'm like, it's okay.
Yeah, I'm not that sad because I didn't know that it
cry.
existed until the other day. So it's not like ripping a Band-Aid off because there was never a Band-Aid on. Just Facebook finding its place in the world and that maybe it's not the place to be for nerds. Like, sorry, your party's so lame.
Dude, sorry, your party's so lame, Jesus.
Yeah, happy birthday, Jesus.
But everything is kind of like starting to morph into basically the same version of a platform because Facebook groups are starting to move more into what a Discord server is like. And things are just kind of doing this.
The nerds are ruling the world right now if you really look at the pattern of things because people want more of a Discord format. My Gammy's not going to use Discord.
Don't say that.
She's not.
What if we put it in the metaverse?
She's not. Can
Meet
she
her where
practice
she
her
is.
piano in the metaverse?
Yes, you can actually.
Where? She needs the weighted keys.